Hey, welcome back to the CRP. I'm Miguel Dorati, and I'm joined by Anthony Scott Pyatt, and we are going to review boxing odds and make some picks for this weekend. And the weekend leads off with Eddie Hearn and his Matchroom Boxing in New York City at the Madison Square Garden Theater, a card that's airing on DAZN. And you'll want to check your local listings for start times. We got heavyweight action there, ladies action, and a major prospect at lightweight. So, ASP, let's. Where do you want to lead off on Friday's, which is September 13th, the DAZN card?
This is going to be a good round of fights. I guess we'll cover this Sergey Kuzmin. It's a 10-rounder, and then we'll move on to the lightweight 12-round, and I think we'll throw a nod out to Amanda Serrano as well. We didn't call that fight. But I'll make an on-the-fly call, sort of late getting those numbers. But yeah, let's talk about Michael Hunter, this heavyweight, Sergey Kuzmin.
And what you have here is you got Eddie Hearn, completing a promise, so to speak. And what I'm getting at is, if you recall, Andy Ruiz and Michael Hunter were the 1-2 short list to face Anthony Joshua. Andy Ruiz obviously getting the shot and going on to write history here. Obviously he's got a relationship with Hunter where at least he's getting him a fight. And he's bringing him in against Sergey Kuzmin. Kuzmin 15-0 undefeated. Hunter 17-1. The one loss, a unanimous decision loss to Alexander Usyk, which really, Usyk's a pound for pound guy at this point in his career and has gone on to make a huge name for himself. So Hunter really not really using that loss as a blemish. He's a favorite in this fight. How do you see this one?
This is an interesting fight. You do mention Usyk out of the Ukraine. Of course, Kuzmin is Russian, so they share that Eastern Bloc thing. I saw Kuzmin fight on the zone in March against Joey Daweczko. Okay. I mean, he didn't look great in that fight. And I think that's skewing these odds a little bit. I think this maybe just a tad closer fight. Maybe would have thought see Kuzmin come in at like a plus 200 or something to that effect. And at 310, I think it's a little heavy. So I like that, as a matter of fact. So that plays into what we're doing. Hunter beat, he was beaten by another Eastern Bloc fighter. And Kuzmin is a good boxer. He's in pretty good shape. He moves well. He hasn't quite been tested, but he's 15-0. So this is where we like to look at that dog watch, because Kuzmin maybe isn't as tested. So we haven't seen him lose, though. Hunter's great, but I think we've got a fight here at plus 310. So official prediction is Hunter by decision. But I'm going to dog watch Kuzmin at plus 310. It's good money on that one. In my estimation, because we don't, he didn't fight a great fight last time, but we haven't seen him lose. Maybe he rises to the challenge. Maybe Hunter brings out the best in Kuzmin, and for $310 on top of my 100, I'm taking it.
Okay, that's interesting. The other thing here, one of these guys, the loss always hurts, on everyone's record. Hunter already has one loss. And, being 17-2 would really affect him as he tries to continue on as a heavyweight. Kuzmin doesn't want to take that first loss. So I do agree with you that there is an interesting fight there. Hunter has gone 5-0 as a heavyweight, although not spectacular competition. His last outing was in May against Fabio Maldonado. Maldonado 26-2. And Maldonado, also notably a guy with a long UFC history, UFC record, was known as a guy who takes a lot of punishment. Crossed over and kept a perfect record in boxing until he's been giving it up. He's lost 3 in a row now, and he's been giving it up to guys with a name that have been signing him up, like Hunter. So, Kuzmin may be a step up in the opposition for both guys. I think they're both looking at the best opponent they've had as a pro. So it should be an interesting fight. Heading through the rest of the card, the other fight here comes to us at lightweight that we've got a pick for, and that comes with more Eastern European action as Devin Haney out of San Francisco takes on Zaur Abdullaev. And Haney, a huge favorite at this point, up to minus 2750. I think earlier in the week he was at minus 2250. So money's actually come in on Haney, even though he's been a prohibitive favorite all along. How do you see this one? Is Haney all he's being chopped up to be?
No, he's not. Bottom line. Let's get to the bottom line right off the bat. I'm not going to bury the lead on this one. Haney's not all he's cut out to be. He's spectacular. I'm not taking that away from him. Let's take a look first at Abdullaev. He's got a good defense, shoulder roll. He attacks well off opponents' misses. Those things that might help him. I think he can bury his chin well, and he's got a nice tight defense. Haney, good footwork, but he backs up too much using that footwork. His hands are left in out of defensive positions a lot, very wide swings, which has worked so far for him because he's athletic enough to make up for it. He can go straight backwards and avoid punches because he is quick enough and fleet of foot. But he's going to run into trouble when he hits top contenders. And he would look flat out foolish against Vasily Lomachenko. The bottom line, Haney is likely to overwhelm Abdullaev even with his form issues. But with 12 rounds, Abdullaev has a shot. If Haney loses some of the speed in his feet that I feel that he misuses by going backwards to elude these punches, then Abdullaev will make him pay for those mistakes. So, Haney is a great athlete and will probably overwhelm him and win this fight. But if he gets frustrated, if he gets tired, if he's looking past this fight, at some point people are going to expose Haney's weaknesses. So official prediction is Haney by decision, but at a plus $1,180 on top of your $100 bet, I have to dog watch Abdullaev and see if he doesn't find these chinks in Haney's armor. Again, he does it all with speed and athleticism. If he gets tired in the 8th or 9th round, he's in trouble.
And with Abdullaev, you've got a guy 25 years old, 11-0 as a pro, already moving up here into this, which is an interim WBC title fight. So he has also sort of been fast-tracking his career. This will be his first fight outside of Russia. So he's coming across the pond for an interim world title shot. You expect to get a motivated fighter, and getting a world title shot at his 11th fight means someone over there believes in him as well. So, there may be a little bit of answers that will come with this fight for Devin Haney in terms of competition. I think he's facing a guy who maybe doesn't have the number of fights Haney does, but I think they're right around the same point in their career where they're looking at the next level and are looking to perform there. Now, probably the most talked about fight on this card is one that we don't have a pick for officially, and we're going to do impromptu here, and that's the Heather Hardy-Amanda Serrano showdown. This one comes to us in the featherweight division. Hardy's undefeated at 22-0. Serrano is 36-1-1. And, the WBO's world title at featherweight is on the line here. So the odds as they are posted at the books now have Serrano a big favorite at minus 1125, Hardy coming back as plus 575. So, I know you made some notes on this one. What are your thoughts?
I think this is going to be a great fight to watch. And as you mentioned, I think they're both MMA fighters with Bellator and UFC respectively. And Serrano might have fought elsewhere too. Miguel, I'll defer to you on the MMA lineage of these two fighters.
Sure. Neither of them has UFC experience.
Okay.
Heather Hardy's got a 2-2 record in Bellator, and that's the extent of her MMA career. She's coming off a loss, and that loss I think came unexpectedly. So she's sort of stumbled on her career. She's trying to keep the perfect record here. Amanda Serrano, 36-1-1. I think Serrano's a little bit bigger brand than Hardy, even though Hardy's done a good job getting her name out there. Serrano and her sister both compete. They've got the Puerto Rico angle, which the island is very receptive to boxers, so hopefully, they have a lot of support in that respect. And she's dabbled. She did an MMA fight in Combate Americas, and that's where she made her lone appearance as far as the records show. So she's 1-0 in MMA and 36-1-1, very experienced as a pro boxer. And, people are picking Serrano in this one. Hardy coming off the loss in Bellator where she really didn't look good. It could just be a situation there where, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, and I think it's a fight to watch. I think they're going to both put their heart into it. No one's going to be shying away from engaging in the battle. They both need to win. But I think Serrano is just a prohibitive favorite, which is one of the reasons I didn't go back and call this when the odds came in rather late. Decided to talk about it like this because we don't want people to miss it. Definitely a fight you want to see, but not one that I would put any money on one way or the other.
And that's the CRP look at the odds for DAZN Boxing coming to us this Friday from the Madison Square Garden Theater. Eddie Hearn and his Matchroom Boxing, I don't want to say sneaky. We'll call him prolific. The prolific Eddie Hearn now, at the Madison Square Garden Theater with Devin Haney and Amanda Serrano on the card, as well as Michael Hunter showing off some of the American assets of his portfolio there. So take a look at it. You can check your local listings for start times. You can hit like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff here. And keep an eye out. ASP has 2 dog watches on this one where if you're a betting man, you may want to look at the underdog. There may be money to be made.
Absolutely. Always a good time, Miguel.